I'm Blair Butler, and welcome to Fresh Ink Online Edition. Now, I have to tell you something right off the bat. There is no pick of the week this week, but it's for a very good reason. It's because there were 3 tremendously good books that came out, and it felt unfair to pick any one of them over the other, because they're all unique and different in their own way. But we're going to kick things off with one of those books, and that is Superman Prime, issue number 1. Now, some of you are saying, Blair, actually, this came out a couple of weeks ago. Well, I didn't read it then, and I'll tell you why. I love the Sinestro Corps series of DC. If you watch this podcast, you know that. But the spin-offs, I was like, oh man, these are going to be lame. Well, I finally gave one of them a chance because I saw that it was Jeff Johns writing it and Pete Woods doing the incredible artwork. And this issue is basically the former Superboy Prime, who is quite awesomely evil, facing off against just about every hero in the DC universe. And hey, if you thought him ripping the arm off of one of the Teen Titans the first time around was bad, wait till you see him do it a second time. This issue is great fun, and if you've been reading the Sinestro Corps, you must pick up this issue. Can't speak for any of the other one-shots. This one is great. Ultimate Power, issue number 8. This is one of those 3 tremendous books I was mentioning this week. Why do I love it? Well, it's nothing but beautifully illustrated action from cover to cover. Nothing but insane beatdowns between the Ultimates, the original Squadron Supreme, and Supreme Powers. So if you are a superhero fan, this is nothing but beautiful, beautiful action. And hey, Wolverine gets half his face burned off. Worth the price of admission alone. This is the Infinite Halloween special, and while the art inside is infinitely good, the stories inside are infinitely meh, unfortunately. The premise is that the Joker and the other inmates of Arkham Asylum are waiting to break out, and while they do, they bide their time by telling each other spooky stories about the superheroes. Sounds like a great concept, but although there are some wonderful, wonderful writers attached to this project, in 4 pages or less, it's almost impossible to convey a solid story. There are, however, 1 or 2 sort of funny moments in here. One of them, a story that references Charlie Brown and the Great Pumpkin, and another that reveals that Lobo is really afraid of adorable puppies. So, unfortunately, unless you're a connoisseur of really, really stellar art, this one is definitely a pass. Sorry to say. This is Annihilation Conquest Quasar, issue 4 of 4. Now, if you've been watching this podcast, you know that this is the comic that features Quasar, the extremely hot, interstellar, cosmic super lesbian who happens to be dating a gay dragon. Yes, her girlfriend transformed into a dragon, and you know what? The relationship is still going strong, so more power to them. But this issue finds them in a giant cosmic battle with the forces of evil. Guess what? They win, sort of. But the issue ends on this really bizarre cliffhanger, and I just want to say, while I very much enjoyed this series, if it's issue 4 of 4, and you end on a cliffhanger, and you tell me to buy another book, it kind of wasn't the end of the miniseries. I'm just saying, if you are looking for a great book about hot interstellar lesbians and gay dragons, by all means, buy Quasar. It's really fun. You know, where else are you going to find gay dragons? I just like saying gay dragons, let's be totally honest. And last but not least, Special Forces, the 3rd really tremendously interesting book this week. And I have to tell you, every initial impulse I had told me that I was going to actually hate this book. To explain why, there's a girl in the army in booty shorts. So already I'm like, I'm going to hate this. I'm really, really going to hate this. Then I open the book and I read it. And it is a book about a bunch of rejects who have been drafted into the army, and is actually based on 2 articles from newspapers about the army actually recruiting autistic teens. So this is based on something that actually happened. It's really quite good. Now, I think people in the military are probably not going to enjoy it. I think people to the right will definitely not enjoy this book. It's about this ragtag group of misfits in the army, which sounds like a funny premise, but this is certainly not a funny book. In fact, it's quite upsetting and unsettling. So, booty shorts aside, I was actually really pleasantly surprised by Special Forces, and I really think it's worth checking out just to see something, you know, come out of left field that really surprises you. Well, that's it for this week's online edition of Fresh Ink, and, you know, I was pleasantly surprised this week, and DC, a couple of great books, Marvel, great stuff, and Image, great stuff. So Everybody's batting 1,000. I don't like bad surprises. I don't like flaming bags of poo.